Kwame Nkrumah's ideas and vision and philosophies becoming more relevant today than before. Many people say that when he started talking to us about self-reliance, about unity, one African nation, the unity of Africans everywhere, not just on the continent, but the whole, what we call the African diaspora of the global African family. When he started talking to us about these things, many didn't understand it. So people say, often I hear this, oh, Kwame Nkrumah was way ahead of his time. So if 60, 50 years ago, he was ahead of his time, so here we are, then this is the time. Now is the time for us to listen, to hear what he had to say for us. And almost everything he was advising us to do are things we are picking up one by one as Africans. I think Kwame Nkrumah will remain relevant for a long time to come until we achieve those ideas and dreams of independence. A totally free Africa, politically and economically. Pan-Africanism, it's an ideology, it's a philosophy, it's a way of living, it's a way of thinking, it's everything, our whole life. I think it's so, so important for us today to imbibe and to understand and to practice. It is not a sentimental feeling that, oh, let's just get together and hold hands. It's about saving our economies, protecting the freedom we fought for, the freedom which our fathers and mothers, some of them died for, sacrificed their lives for. It's the only way that Africans can together raise our standard of living. Our father used to say that it's for our economic survival. And I think today, grappling with all the problems our individual countries are going through, our communities are going through, I think, yes, we must take it as the biggest response, the most effective response to our challenges today as African people. So yes, Pan-Africanism is the future, I believe, the future for a prosperous Africa. One of the stories that impressed me the most about our father in the early years of the independence struggle, when he returned from abroad, joined the UGCC, and started organizing the whole country, preparing us for independence. Now, I understand that he traveled all over the country trying to set up cells for the movement. And at one point, the car he was taking broke down, and instead of waiting or, just ending his journey there, he took his small case and he walked. He walked for hours, and he would walk from one place to another, meeting people and looking for the strong men and women who would support who would join the movement and would support those early steps towards independence. So I just imagine our father picking his suitcase and just walking to his destination, meeting people and getting them inspired, and just moving and walking. I think it's very inspiring. And I would like to see more of us have this same approach to service and in politics in particular. What I would like to see in Ghana is for us Ghanaians to be united, not to agree on everything, because that's not possible, but at least to unite around our priorities. And what are these? We need to be a bit less greedy, a bit less selfish, so that we can together raise the standard of living of the majority of Ghanaians. So I would like to see us not divided along partisan lines or tribal lines. Our ethnicity is important and our culture is important, but we have an important task to achieve. We need to build our nation in a way whereby everybody will be okay. We can't say that things are easy for young people in Ghana and Africa in general, but we cannot despair and we cannot give up. Young people need to take charge somehow. And it can begin by just being active, trying to understand what's happening, trying to work with others, to organize. It just begins with very little knowledge and very little interest in what's happening around us. The potential of young people thinking together, working together, even starting small projects together is huge. The other thing too, and that's what helps inspires us, is I think young people, I would like at least young people to be better acquainted, to get to know better what Kwame Nkrumah was trying to tell us. His books, his speeches, everything that he left behind for us. When he joined the independence struggle, he was also relatively young. And he gave us, when he left us, he had given us so much advice. He'd given us a vision, he'd given us a philosophy, and so ideas that I think empower us and inspire us. And I think I would like the young Ghanaian of today to become better acquainted with Kwame Nkrumah's vision for Ghana. Independence, political, economic, self-reliance, the idea of working with other Africans to build our industries, our infrastructure, our educational institutions, everything. This idea of being connected with all Africans. There's so much in the material he left that could empower us psychologically, intellectually, and also help us organize for a better future. Multi-party politics has only given us further division, and because it's so important to win power at every expense that sometimes many things get sacrificed for it. And I believe that in our present situation, what we need is consensus building rather than extreme partisanship and extreme power, concentration of power. What we need truly is consensus building around our priorities today. And I think that we have to start thinking in the future about how we can harness the best people, the best minds to do the job, irrespective of which party they belong to, um, where they come from, uh, even what they represent, because we are never going to agree on every single thing, but we can agree on what we need to do the most and what we need to do first. Despite our challenges, and like all developing countries, we do have our fair share of challenges. But despite that, I'm still optimistic. And there are many reasons for that. But one main reason that comes to mind is I'm optimistic because we have a large number of young people who have great potential. So I'm optimistic because with the right ideas and with the right attitude, with the right approach, we can impart to young people the dreams and the vision of our independence. And I believe that with that mindset, there is nothing young people cannot achieve to improve their conditions, their living conditions, and their future. So I am optimistic because the average Ghanaian and the average African is a young person full of promise and potential.